lead role of Ben was written colorless. In fact, he was written a bit as a bit of an asshole. He was meant to be a truck driver who was just angry.
Our friend Rudy Ritchie was originally supposed to play the character of Ben. He was close by, he was accessible, he was all the things that our low-budget film needed. Until a mutual friend of ours, Betty Ellen Hawhey, introduced us to an actor friend of hers from New York who happened to be in Pittsburgh visiting his family over Easter in 1967, and that person was Duane Jones.
Duane turned out to be the best actor from among our friends, and so we said, okay, Duane, you got it. And we thought we were being very hip in not changing the script because he was a black man. We thought, cool, man, we ain't gonna change nothing. We're not gonna do a thing, let's just play it the way it was and leave it, let it lay. You know, this is this 60s thing coming through. Duane was the only guy who said, I think you're missing a bet here. I mean, Duane actually thought we should take note of it. And in later years, and now particularly, I think we probably should have. Not to make it a big point, but to refer to it at least. Because the anger of this guy, I mean, to put it in very simplistic terms, I think that a person in a minority, any minority, sees a lot of things way more clearly than people in the majority. Most things. But anger gets in the way. And we had written this guy as angry for no reason at all. But if you track the logic of the story, that rage that comes up, automatic rage that comes out, that would have been an interesting overlay. I'm saying again, not hit it hard, but that would have been an interesting overlay on it. And Duane knew this. He was the only guy that knew it. And we're going, no, man, I mean, you know, this is like, we want this to be completely, you know, forget about it. The best way to do this is not comment on it at all. And Duane said, yeah, but you're asking me to slug a white woman. You know what's going to happen to me out on the street if this movie gets in the theater? He was completely sensitive to it all. And we weren't. We're white guys, thinking we're being cool, but yet being insensitive to the you know, the real root of the problem.
I looked back at the diner to see if there was anyone there who could help me. It was when I noticed that the entire place had been encircled.
Duane Jones, I adored him. I really, really, truly did. And my website is actually dedicated to him. Duane was quiet, and I felt safe with him. I didn't feel like, you know, he was just a goofy actor, that there was more substance to him, and I felt very, very comfortable with him.
He was an erudite man who taught at Vassar, and a good actor, very good actor.
I could use some help up here.
That's the cellar, it's the safest place.
You mean you didn't hear the racket we were making out here?
He was very sensitive, very intelligent, very widely read. Between takes, you'd find Duane buried in a book. No superficial stuff, you know, deep philosophy or psychology or, you know, James Joyce, whatever. That was Duane.
If you're stupid enough to go die in that trap, that's your business. However, I am not stupid enough to follow you.
You know, there's so much to say about Duane that it's hard to bring it down to a couple of lines. He was a tortured individual. There was a whole lot of the black-white problem that he carried on his shoulders.
Well, I wish Duane was still alive, because he would be the guy that I would most want to talk to about, you know, how do you feel about this, that this is happening? or that this film has become important in a certain sense. And I don't know, I think Duane would probably shrug and say, you know, que va, uno. I think he would have chuckled. I think he would have laughed with us all.
He was a fine human being. Sorry, I choke up when I think about Duane, because he was my friend. And I think he got a rotten deal in life.
I'm glad that he did this picture and that he has that legacy.
Yes, well deserved. Very well deserved.
There was a wonderful feeling of camaraderie and good humor and goodwill. They were wonderful folks to work for. They really were.